Mic check, mic check. Welcome to On the Mic with Ray White, where we share life lessons, encourage self-reflection, and equip you to take action. My name is Ray White, and I am juiced that you're taking the time to listen to this episode today. And this whole podcast is all about sharing stories that engages, equips, and encourages you to take a next step towards your purpose. And I hope that just by me sharing my stories, the trials, the triumphs, the lessons, and everything I've learned, experienced in life gives the encouragement for you to reflect on your own story and build confidence for you to share your story with others. Because honestly, you never know how your story will positively impact someone else. It could be honestly the bridge between bringing hope, encouragement, and belonging to the other individuals, peoples, and communities that you're a part of. So why not make it happen? Yes. And I'm so excited because this whole month we've been diving into this series called Stop Trippin'. I don't know why. I gave a lot of energy behind that. Stop tripping. I'm hype. I'm hype. I'm always hype. Why not? I'm juiced. This whole series, Stop Tripping, and everything about this is just elements that hold me up from taking action. That's the essence of it. The actions, the thoughts, and everything that just shackles me from taking the next steps towards the things that I want to progress. And since we're at the very beginning of the year, it's only appropriate that we take the time to reflect on those things that hinder us from taking action and see what we can do to break out of that and take steps towards moving forward and not let those things hinder us from moving forward. So, as you've hopefully taking the time to listen to the past few episodes, make sure you go back, listen to them. There are a lot on just areas and elements that hold me up. So I want to make sure that they don't hold you up. And again, this is an opportunity for us to reflect and to engage our own thoughts and to share it with one another. So be sure that as you are doing that, you're taking the time to reflect and be able to let me know what your thoughts are on those things. Because on this episode, we're going to continue on with the thought of not overthinking. Why do I have to do this episode as I'm overthinking it? But we're not going to overthink it. We're going to take steps and talk about what overthinking does, how it hinders us, and what can you do, what I'm doing, and what can you do to not let it hinder you from taking action in your goals. So as always, be sure to follow us on social media at OTM Podcast on Instagram. And take a screenshot of this, put it in your stories, put it in your tweets, put it on your Facebook page. Let your mama know that you're listening to the On the Mic with Ray White podcast. But let me know too, so I can go ahead and tag you and share the fact that you're listening to this episode, because it's an awesome opportunity that you are listening to this platform, and I can be a part of this journey with you. You're being a part of this journey with me. It's so much fun on that way. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into this episode titled Stop Overthinking. And I'll catch you on the other side. Man, oh man, all last year I have been in this overthinking state, and it goes way beyond just the past year. It goes in every aspect of it. And one thing I want to tie this to is in a analogy in sports. So as a wide receiver, once a former wide receiver, I guess I'm no longer a wide receiver. Sad eye, small tear. One of the things that we had to do in coming in and out of our route running was, making breaks and making sure that we planted and accelerated towards the direction that we were supposed to go in. There's not a lot of thinking that goes into it. And I guess there's some thinking on the forefront before you step into your plan, step into your route. You got to know where you're going. You got to know your landmarks. You got to know where your defender is. But once you're in it, you got to plant and go. You got to plant and accelerate, get to where you're supposed to be. So that way the timing all lines up with the quarterback throwing you the ball, and you are then accelerating towards the first down marker, the end zone, what have you. And it's important that as you are in your route, that you are following the mechanics that you're supposed to. You're accelerating out of your brake. Then you have a low center of gravity and making sure you hit the penultimate. Then stick your foot on the plant your foot towards the direction that you need to go, and then take the next step and accelerate out of your brake so that you could be in position to catch the football. So with this perspective, how that ties to overthinking. Now, you can't overthink your footing. You can't overthink the route. You can't overthink everything, every element in the game when you're running your route. You have to trust the process and trust the fact that you are in this position for success. So go do the things that you were taught to do the actions that you were assigned to do, and make the play. Like it's simple, but not simple. And what makes it not simple is the repetitive actions that it takes prior to you making your route, running your route. So as this ties to the things that we do in life, or more specifically, when I think about this space, this context of content creating and podcasting, or just any action that I want to take on, I don't know why, but I overthink so much. Like I think way too much about, okay, whether or not I got the right words. For example, let's bring this to more specific example. I shared in a previous episode that every experience has a significance, that I got the opportunity to speak to some high school students. And it's a great chance. Anytime I get a chance to speak, I'm always thrilled the opportunity to do that. But in that space, the day that I was asked to the day that I got the chance to speak, which was like months, I thought through so much. I thought about it, but I overthought about it. Like I was like, okay, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? Make sure it flows right. Make sure I got the right words. Make sure that I used the right article. I don't know. Like I constantly, I had a plan. I had an outline, and I changed the outline, and then I changed the outline of the new outline, and I reverted back to the old outline. And I was so overwhelmed and just overthought every aspect of it, and it was just really, really killing me. And the rabbit hole that I go into whenever I prepare for something that I've been asked to do is so deep. And it frustrates me, because it's like, why can't I just pull myself out of it? Why can't I not let this particular element be so hard on my mindset, on my perspective? And I think that, there's an aspect to dig in more deeper into that. But what I wanted to do here was just to highlight that this element does paralyze me and potentially paralyze you from taking just that next step. Now, luckily and unluckily, gone through this exercise before, like say when I was speaking to those students, where I know it's like, okay, I know I can get out of this. Like, I know I'll be fine. I go through my ups and downs and peaks and valleys, but eventually the day will come. I'll have what I'll have. I'll bring the energy. I'll bring the noise, and the points I'll need to make will be the points I need to make, and it'll be good. Yeah, at least I hope it'll be good. Obviously I'll do the practice. I'll do the things on my end to prepare myself. But when the time comes, I will done what I need to do. It's just coming to execute. But too often, if we overthink, if I would have been overthinking that way too many times, I probably honestly would not have been either ready the day that I needed to speak, or find some excuse to not be there, honestly. And so this is something that I am processing for the new year. I'm processing in my new goals that I have for myself, is to not overthink it. And I almost came to that point with this content series and just this whole new year when it comes to podcast content. Like, I didn't want to overthink. I wanted to think through everything, but not to the point where I doubted myself or didn't think that I was able to accomplish it or able to succeed in any way. And that just causes way too much stress. And for you, if you are in a particular space where you are stressed out because you're thinking way too much, too deep into the details, and it's stopping you from taking action, I just want to let you know I'm there. I'm with you. I see you. I see you in this. And literally anything and everything can happen. But I just want to share with you that, again, you're not alone in this, and you can also get through this. And there's a way to get through this, and there's a way to take action into this, in this concept and mindset, when you feel like you are paralyzed by overwhelm, by overthinking. Because I just don't want, I'm tired of feeling like I don't have the confidence in myself, and I feel very inadequate with my skill sets and abilities when time and time again I have proven the fact that I can be in, like I've proven that I can be in this particular position. Like I experience this at work, I experience this at home, I experience this everywhere. Like the elements that I am overthinking in, I can do it. I have the ability to do it. And because I've proven it. And I want you to also remind yourself of that. I want you to think of that too, that you are in this position for a reason. You are in this space for a reason. You've been asked to do a particular thing for a reason. You have this goal and this dream, desire in your heart for a reason. Stop overthinking about it. Think it through, but don't overthink it through. You know, like just don't do it. It makes you second guess. It makes you doubt. It makes you have so many limited beliefs about your position, about who you are, what you're capable of. And that should not be there. Those disqualifiers should not be there, hindering you from taking those steps. Because these perspectives, we need to kick this perspective, from our mindset, because it just kills the capacity to move forward, and we are unable to move through the change curve quickly if we are overthinking. And I spoke about this before. Like if we go through the iterative cycle of an event or an activity or a process, the quicker we get something out, the quicker we learn about it, the quicker we can reflect on it and take action on the things that we've learned. And if we are stalled at the gate with our overthinking, we will never get to the point where we can make the tweaks necessary for us to be successful. We will just be stuck at square one. And we can't be stuck at square one. We cannot be stuck at square one. It's 2020. We can't be stuck there. We're done. We're done with that. Kill it. Cut it. Moving on. All right? Stop overthinking about these things. We need to have the right amount of thinking, though, to the point where we are so prepared based upon our abilities and the reason why we are in this position. And then if you find yourself making so many different tweaks along the way, if you find yourself that you're just like, okay, wait, what about I use this word and not that word? And, that stuff can matter, but shouldn't overall be the decision between you taking that first step or not. That's the science of overthinking. So how do we do this? How do we not let overthinking paralyze us from taking steps forward? The first thing we got to do is know that it's not about you. I shared this on a previous episode of On the Mic with Ray White, titled "It's Not About Me," and it's truly this actually podcast. This episode is a reflection of that particular episode. It's just the fact that what I do, what I'm asked to do, what I would like to accomplish is not about me. It's about who I get the opportunity to help serve. It's about who has given me the ability to serve, to use these skill sets, to bring glory and bring God glory, not my own. And so being reminded that none of this that we're doing is about us. It's about ourselves. It's about the other people that we are engaging with, and it's about the creator who's created us. So being mindful that it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about that. It's not about ourselves. That helps overcome at least aspects of overthinking. The other element is knowing that you are already worthy. And I this speaks to me more clearly because I often feel inadequate whenever I step into a space that I've been asked to do, like or a passion that I want to pursue, that I can't do it. Like who am I to be the one to step into the space? And if you read the Bible, I think often about Moses and Moses in the burning bush, his conversation with God. That's me on a daily basis. Like, Lord, who am I to be the one to lead the people out of Israel? Like, come on, man. Why you call me? I don't I don't know why that was funny. I don't know what Moses might have said that. He's like, Lord, why you call me? Like, who am I? Anyway, even in those conversations, even in that space, like God was like, yo, I got you. I gave you the staff. I give you Aaron. You got me. I got you. But the element of that, it was like, he is already worthy to step into that space. He was, Moses particularly he had gone through so many years out in the wilderness preparing, based upon his previous experience that he tried to take onto his own hands, which got him out there in the first place. But that whole time has prepared him for what God is calling him to step into. And I think about that as well with the elements that God has called me into, or that I have this passion to step into. And it's like, okay, why do I feel this inadequacy? Why do I feel like I don't have the ability to succeed? If I'm already called to do it, or if God has already given me the experience to step into it, then, but more particularly, like knowing that I am still somebody, I'm still loved, I'm still worthy, I'm still somebody who is worthy to be loved in that way. And so that is the first and foremost reminder that I'm not my actions, I'm not my failures or my accomplishments, but that I am somebody that is worthy of loved and is loved. So that in it alone helps me to stop overthinking about the tweaks and changes that I want to make towards my goals and my passions. So again, knowing that it's not about me and knowing that I'm already worthy helps overcome that perspective of overthinking. And then the last one, this one's a funny one. The last one is knowing that we all are trying to figure it out. And what I mean by that is, sure, there are people in our lives that like know a little more than us or have a better handle on, let's say, parenting or knowing how to run a business or fix a car. I don't know. Like, there's people in our lives that do have the skill sets or have the experiences that more than where we are currently today and what we're wanting to drive towards. But the reminder that they started from square one before, and that they are not perfect themselves, but that doesn't mean that we look down on them. That doesn't mean that we look down on them, or that doesn't mean that they are less than or that we are less than, but that it's like it equals the playing field in some context, that they also had to work through the process just as we are working through the process. And if we can acknowledge that this is a process of us gaining towards some level of mastery in a particular way, we can then grow together. We can then see each other, not just for our flaws, but for our goals, for our accomplishments, but see how our flaws can make up our beauty. And I don't know, I find joy in also knowing that the person that I'm looking up to is also trying to figure it out too. And it's like, okay, so how can we figure it out together? Like, that's the exciting piece. Like, how can we figure this out together and not to be seen as less than in that way, which ties to the second point of knowing that I'm already worthy. So know that it's not about you. Know that you are already worthy, and know that we are all trying to figure it out. Those are three elements to help overcome the aspects of overthinking what it takes to reach your goals, what it takes to take action. So I really hope that you take the moments to process through those three different areas. And then with this call to action, I just hope that you find the time to think through whatever decision that you wanted to make, think through whatever it is that you want to accomplish, really work through what is in your control. And those things that within your control, how can you position yourself to be successful with what you currently have, knowing that it's not about you and that you're already worthy and other people are figuring it out. So with your context, with your circle, how can you just excel and kill it and be the best with what you've been controlled with, what you've been given with, and then be able to then take that to then help you with the next step towards your next journey, your next success, your next goal, and be able to lean on other people who have been in other aspects or in other positions as you, or a couple steps forward. Be able to lean on them to help piggyback in to understand what their position was like or what position is currently like, and help you in your current context. And just know that all the actions that you're currently taking right now can impact someone in their learning, in their development, and can help you as well as you learn and develop. So when the next opportunity comes, you can be ready and you can take action too. So keep on growing, learn, grow, know that's not about you, and take the next step to not feeling like you are overthinking every element towards your success. Yes, stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. You know what? I can reflect more about this, but I just want to keep it at that. Stop overthinking. Know who you are. Know that you're worthy. And know that everybody's still trying to figure it out. And with those three elements, dig into community and understand how you can grow and develop with other people too who are in the same boat as you or just a couple steps ahead of you. So be sure that you take the time to take control or understand what's in your control and take action and develop and be the best in that space and grow into that as well. So my question for you is, do you know what's in your circle of control? And how can you be the best in that area so that when the time does come and somebody asks you to step into that space, you can draw from those experiences and you can utilize that opportunity to step into that? And then what is one thing that you can do to stop overthinking the actions that you need to do? How can you just plant and go towards the direction that you have been called to step into and not let overthinking hinder you from taking action in that space?